So welcome back to the kitchen.
Yay! All right, so today we're going to do some Instapotting. So like and subscribe and let us know and follow along because we've got so many tricks and tips and recipes that we do in our Instapots that we want to share with you.
Okay, so first things first, I've had mine about a year. And I think if they've been way more popular than that, I'm like late to the game. Okay?
Right, because I think I had mine almost a year before you had yours.
Yeah, and I feel like it was like, well, I already have a little I have crock pots and I have a rice cooker. Like, it's like those, like, do I need this tool?
Right.
Do I feel like I need to spend that much money on this cooker?
And the answer is?
The answer is yes. And I was like afraid of it because it's like a lot of pressure and it's steam and it's scary and what if it explodes? And I feel like a lot of people I've talked to who have not been using an Instapot or have one and have not used it, those are the excuses. So we're gonna help you not be afraid of your Instapot and give you some tips and tricks to be successful.
Right.
There we go.
Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is jump right in and start cooking something in the Instapot, and it's gonna cook while we're doing this, and it'll be done by the end of the show, we hope, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing we're gonna do is hard-boiled eggs. This is like the easiest thing ever. Oh my goodness, when I do it on the stove and I try to set a timer and I watch it, it's so annoying. So I have an 18 count of eggs. I have my Instapot. It has the little tray guard. And I'm just going to throw, gently set, all my eggs inside of here, all 18 of them, if I can get my fingers around them.
All right, so while she's loading her eggs in the Instapot, there's obviously several ways of cooking, hard-boiling your eggs. So there's like boiling on the stove, which one is messy and I hate peeling them. And then two, I've seen them where you put them in the oven, muffin tins. And so those I feel like come out really well, but I don't always like having to do it in my oven. So out of all the ways I've ever cooked eggs, this is by far my favorite. And you can pile the eggs in, like 18 is nothing. I'm like 30, 36, like I cram those babies in. If I'm doing like a potato salad or deviled eggs or eggs for protein for my family, so we have hard-boiled eggs on hand. Like, I've got a big family and I can shove them in there. So don't be afraid to feel like, oh, I can only do a dozen. If you need the eggs, put them in there. It doesn't really matter if it's, you know, a dozen or more, it works.
All right, 18 count of eggs, done. 1 cup of water, done.
So easy.
All right, I'm going to put my lid on. Now, because Sharla and I bought our Instapots at different times, we have different models, okay? Yep. So mine's a Viva, hers is a Dual
Nova.
Okay, so mine actually has an egg button, hers does not.
Nope.
So if you do not have an egg button, what you want to do is set your pressure cooker to high at normal for 5 minutes.
That's it.
That's
5 minutes. The egg button, she pushed it and it set those automatically and said 5 minutes.
Okay, now it's on. Now we're gonna have to let it pressurize. So this is the part.
The lie.
This is the lie of the Instapot, because it can't be perfect, right? There is nothing that just instantly does it.
Oh, you just put it in there 15 minutes later. It's a lie.
It cooks your frozen chicken in 20 minutes. It does, however, it's gonna take it 20 to 30 minutes to pressurize. So we have to wait for this to start to build up the pressure and seal before it'll even start the 5-minute countdown. And I have had it take anywhere from 10 minutes to do that to an hour. Like I haven't quite figured out if it's too full, if the stuff's really cold, what makes it take forever sometimes on finally sealing it with all that pressure.
Or if it's too empty, does it take longer because it's too empty? Like, I don't know either. I would guess, if you know, let us know. But I would guess that if your pot is already hot, it takes less time to pressurize.
Right, and I've read different things and I've never seen anything consistent. So I've never seen like the direct answer. People all assume. So Instapot people, tell us. So I do know you should make sure that your valve right here is on the lock position so that it doesn't steam while you're doing it.
Right, mine doesn't.
Oh, mine
doesn't have a lock position. So it's over here. So yeah, our models are a little different, but hers does have a lock position, so you want locked. Otherwise, you're sitting there trying to like pressurize it, and it's not locked to steam it.
Which I've done.
That could take a long time because it would never work. So after those 5 minutes are up, What's our next steps?
So once that 5 minutes is up, then we're going to let it decompress for 5 minutes.
Okay,
right?
so this is the weird thing about Instapots. Nobody talks to you, and they call this natural release or something like that. And they even like put like NF or whatever, these weird things in the recipe. So when you're reading it, you're like, what does that mean?
I don't know.
So, what is translated?
It's a whole new
I
language.
now know. It means let it sit there after it beeps saying, I'm done. It means let it just keep resting, and it'll start recounting to let you know how long it's been sitting there. And you only want to go on the eggs 5 minutes.
Okay, so 5 minutes with the pressure cooking, 5 minutes with a natural release, and then you're gonna do what's called a quick release.
The other weird words.
Right, so this you will need a washcloth for or a hot pad or something, because I'm going to open my valve and let it
let all that steam out. Don't put it under your cabinet.
No, I've ruined cabinets.
And even like here, we're on an island, it'll hit my ceiling. Just put the cloth over it. It's the simplest solution.
Yep, I just push it open with the rag and leave the rag on top of it, and it's gonna quick release. So it's gonna release all that pressure super fast, and it's really hot. Please use a thick rag, fold it up, something like that. You will burn yourself. Don't lean over it and watch while you do it. So you'll see me, I'm gonna stand way far back. So once we quick release for 5 minutes, then I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna submerge the eggs, take them out and put them in an ice bath for another 5 minutes. So 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, right? Which is how long it takes it on the stove, and they're gonna peel beautifully once I'm done with them in the ice bath. So we'll do it step by step so you can watch the process, but that's it.
So really like, it's like the 5, it's like the 5 minute rule for the eggs. So you just have 3 of the 5s. So 5 cook, 5 release, 5 cold bath, and then you're done. So you need the reason you cold bath them is they stop cooking. So.
Right, and I think it also chills the shell really super fast so that they crack and come off easier too.
Yeah.
So those are my eggs. They're in the Instapot. What are we doing while my eggs are in the Instapot, Charlotte?
Okay, so we're gonna make dinner over here. So we're gonna do an easy Instapot chili, super healthy. It's a turkey chili, so we're gonna be putting lots of vegetables and ground turkey in there. And once we get everything all diced up, it all goes in the pot, and then I set it, and then boom, it's done. Now, it's for dinner, so, I mean, I could even do, one of the cool things about Instapot, like I said, it has all these other functions. Like I said, I already have a crock pot. Well, I have a crock pot setting on this. Maybe I just want it to sit all day and simmer. I could just push that button and set the time. Again, there's a rice setting on this. There's a yogurt setting. There's a saute setting. I use the saute setting a lot, and I think also that builds up that heat like I was talking about, so the pressure doesn't take as long. But if you're doing some meat in here, you want to kind of like brown it up with those seasonings really good, and that it's like keeps that flavor really strong in your meat.
Right, keeps it all in the same pan. So are you gonna saute up your ground turkey in there with your onions?
I think I might go ahead and do that, but first we gotta cut up some stuff. So Tiffany's got my celery, I've got my onion, I've got some mushrooms to put in there. So we're gonna get this guy going.
So don't think that this is just gonna be boring. So we're also gonna keep giving you some tricks and some tips.
So Tiffany was over and I was cooking dinner, and I think we were doing a family dinner night, and I opened up my Instapot.
Oh, this is amazing. Oh my gosh, this was my reaction because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Like, why aren't we geniuses like this? The lid, right? What do you do with a hot...
It's this big, annoying thing, and it doesn't like sit well on the counter because it's got the handle.
I always stick mine in the sink. If the sink's clean and empty, because I don't want to get it even nasty. I was like, oh my goodness. Sharla opens it up.
Done.
There's a hole in the handle for a reason, people. I was like, oh, one of those like, I'm so stupid. Why didn't I realize that? Come on, people. It holds the handle for you. And it all just stays inside the lid, and it drips down into the little catcher that catches the steam water. And I was like, oh my gosh, you people are so amazing when you made this product. Tell us, why are these in the manual? I read my manual, it does not tell me those things.
No. The other thing I really like about the holes in the handle is when I'm storing my Instapot, I take my cord and I tuck it up through this hole. So when I put this here, my cord is stuck, and then it's not dangling to catch in my cabinet.
Why haven't you told me things?
I already did that and dented my Instapot.
Me too.
And broke my lid.
The cords are dangerous. I'm gonna turn this so that they can see it a little bit better. This is awesome. Like, so the cord is just put up in there, and then she kind of tightens the handle.
Just a little bit, and then my lid stays on. I can lift it with my lid if I need to.
Right there.
Hold on.
Okay.
You have to like slide from the back.
Okay, yours goes on different than mine.
Yep.
All right, that's awesome.
Because now storing it is so much easier because it's so big it needs a bottom cabinet.
Yes.
So if you're not keeping it out on your counter.
Which I don't like to do.
No.
Let's talk about tricks for cleaning it. So
okay, because it looks kind of scary to try and clean this thing too.
Right.
It's big.
And heavy.
Tell us about the lid.
So the ring comes out of the lid, but your lid is actually 100% dishwasher safe.
Top rack, dishwasher safe.
Yep. So you need to remove the valve covering. So you take off.
Just pop it off.
The weight. This is the weight that will wiggle and jiggle and tell you when it's done. And then this comes off too.
So this part.
So,
pops right off.
And that's it. So, because then it cleans all the steam and everything that comes through, because it catches all the seasonings and your spices and stuff and pushes that through. So you'll contaminate and your savory stuff will taste sweet. Your sweet stuff could taste savory. Like, that's one of those good tricks so that you can clean out all of those flavors and things like that. Same with the ring. The ring comes out and you can soak it in vinegar to clean it. You can just wash it. You can also buy more rings. One lady that I did, like, she has a sweet ring and a savory ring and she trades them out depending on what she's making and things like that. So that is super awesome. That this can just go on the top rack of your dishwasher to make sure that it gets all the flavors and stuff out of it.
Now, if you're like, oh, what else can I do to clean this? You just toss in either a couple cups of vinegar or some lemon rinds and some water, like a cup, and you push the steam button setting and cook it for 2 minutes.
That's
Boom,
it.
done. See, I love it. I love it.
Does it have to pressurize?
So it'll take a little bit of time, I think, to pressurize. And like when I did it before, you can even just put it on a normal pressure setting for just a few minutes. You don't have to push the steam button, but it's nice that it's there.
Right. So the big thing to remember is that when we say it takes 10 minutes to cook, when your recipe says it takes 15 minutes to cook, give yourself that half hour to pressurize. This isn't pressurized yet. It's not, and it's closed, but it hasn't sealed and pressured. So that, like when everybody was the hype and so excited about their Instapot.
So excited.
Nobody ever told me those things. All of my friends, you all let me down. You did not tell me it was gonna take me 20 minutes for this thing to like seal up on me.
Well, and then like, you're so frustrated because you didn't start dinner in time. And you have the frozen chicken in there, and it should be done, but maybe you didn't adjust for the amount of chicken you put in, because you do have to adjust the time for how much pounds of stuff you put in there to increase it if it's something like that. So all of a sudden you're opening it up and it's raw, and you're like, oh, I've ruined it. What do I do now? And dinner is terrible. It's like time for bed.
Right,
like,
kids are hungry.
It's frustrating. So especially while you're learning it, spend the time to take the time.
Yes.
To let yourself have the extra time. It's not a quick like fix. It's like a quick crock pot, and knowing the crock pot takes hours and hours, well, this is really fast compared to that.
Right. So, but I will have to tell you, my chilies and my stews and things like that have never tasted better. Definitely this brings a different level of flavor and enjoyment to your food. So that's one of the best things about it, is that everything is just so yummy that comes out of here because it's so saturated with all the flavors in it.
Okay, so something I didn't know, because there's a lot of great recipes out there, and you can just follow those recipes, which is fabulous, especially while you're starting. I totally recommend just go check Pinterest, Instapot recipes, and just follow right along, and it'll help you every little step of the way, and you'll be cooking in no time. The part that I didn't realize for a big family is if I try to do a whole meal in my Instapot, because there are just a whole meal Instapots, if I try to do the whole thing for my family, it's gonna end up too full. And so I kind of feel like I need 2 Instapots. So honey, I'm okay with getting another one.
Right, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day.
Birthday. I'm okay, I love them. It's awesome, and I cook with them, and I feel like it's a great transition tool too. Like maybe your house is under construction and you need to be able to cook food still.
Yes.
Hey, I can cook so much in this Instapot. So if I had a few of them, I would feel more able to cook things in my Instapot. But and even like the layering, there's lots of recipes with like your potatoes and your meatloaf, and you put an extra little container inside it to cook. I'm not gonna be able to cook enough food for 8 people that way.
Right.
So for me, and this is the 8 quart. Like I have the big one.
Than this.
I have the big one, which when he bought it for me, he knew he got the big one.
Right, he did good.
He did good. However, I could totally use a whole nother 8 quart. Hey, maybe a 6 quart on the side of that. Like,
Right.
I would ditch probably all my crock pots and my rice cooker if I just had Instapots. I hear it. Can you hear that? It's kind of a trick. You can hear the steam getting really close.
I can feel it coming out.
Yeah.
It's locked.
And for mine, you can hear the, like when it's all done and your depression, you can hear the little metal click down, but this one it'll probably go, you'll hear it
mine
suck
pops
up.
up. Yeah. So, yay, it's doing something.
Oh, we're getting close. And I think like sometimes it's just good to know, like if you have a small family or just if, you know, not 8 people in your family, dude, 8 quart probably is going to totally work for you. But if you've got enough people or enough things that you're cooking, you know, this is an investment. You might need more than one.
Right. Definitely useful and helpful. There are tons of accessories for the Instapot. So what are your favorite accessories?
Because this is not an accessory video.
Nope.
Everything we're showing are the things that come standard in the Instapot. So again, what accessories do we need?
Right.
What are we missing out on?
I want accessories. Tell me what I should be buying and using, because I've got a whole Pinterest board of what I want to be doing, and oh my goodness, there's so many fun things, and you can make cakes and things like that, and like pancake balls. So I want to like make healthy gluten-free pancake balls inside mine for like a breakfast or snack. I thought that'd be good for my kids, like on the go early mornings, and then they like are actually eating something healthy. So what accessories do you use? Which ones do you really want us to see? And give me a reason to go buy it.
Right, because if we need to have Instapot Wednesday or whatever day of the week.
Right, once a week, people, let us know what you want to see and we will make it happen.
Because it is fun. It's fun to do a roast or the shredded meat, but at the same time, I heard the beep. It's starting to count down. So it's got the 5 minutes, and we're going to count down, and then it'll count back up.
All right, do you want me to start sauteing for you?
All right, so when you saute, actually whenever you cook anything in your Instapot, not the sauteing part, but whenever you're going to pressurize it, you just make sure you have liquid. I think that's one of those tricks that keep it from burning. Obviously, you still need that liquid in there.
I've burned in mine a few times. It tells you when it burns.
Oh yeah, it tells you.
It's like,
why is it burning? What am I supposed to do about that?
I need to clean it. So I don't like that it always gives me a timer for my saute.
I know. It's like, maybe I want to saute for like 20 minutes.
Right?
Maybe I know how long I'm sauteing for.
Right.
So it's weird that there's a time on that right, you can adjust up or down. But at the same time, if you're kind of busy and you might be distracted, well, maybe that's a good thing to have a timer so you don't burn whatever you're sauteing either. Right. Or if you have a child helping you, like that would be a simple way of getting somebody up here to help with that. But
okay, maybe I like it better.
At the same time, you don't want them to burn the food because kids are awesome sometimes.
Right.
One of the things I do want is one of those like meat grinder.
I was just thinking, I have one of those.
Do you have
don't?
one?
Yes, it's my favorite thing because it gets
life.
like the meat so tiny and spreads it so evenly, and it's all even chunks.
I need one.
It's like my okay.
Not that you have to get it for me.
No.
It's one of those things I need.
But I was like, note to self, that's a good like birthday present idea.
See, we just like pay attention for all these times we hang out.
Right, I'm not buying you an Instapot though, that's for your husband. He bought the first one and did a good job, he could buy a second one.
Right, I thought that clue was very clear.
So honey, I don't need a second one. I mean, I'm sure I could find uses for it, but I don't need one right now.
Well, and her family is 3 kids smaller than mine, so.
Right, and they're all teenagers.
And that's the thing, like really,
But and I have 2 KitchenAids.
You do.
Right, I'm like, oh, maybe we should just go with our KitchenAids. Do you guys want to see a KitchenAid video? Like all cool attachments. I have a meat grinder attachment for mine. I don't know. Let us know if you want to see some of the KitchenAid.
Right. What tools are you not using in your kitchen to their fullest potential?
Right.
Which then we'll learn how to do that.
Right. Hey, I have a pasta maker.
Right. We need to learn how to use that to its fullest potential.
Right. Make some gluten-free pasta.
Oh, that sounds great.
Right. Ooh, and then for Christmas, my mom got me this really like heavy-duty vegetable like noodle maker thing because she saw our video. Check that out up here of our like handheld vegetable things. So I'm like, I know, like, oh, I can pass on my other one to you. So you have one that's from here. So I was like, oh, we can like show more vegetables and what that one does because it does a lot more vegetables. I can make beet chips and things like that. Like it'll slice everything really thin for me and stuff.
I love beet chips.
Yep. So I was like, ooh. We're gonna have to maybe play with that a little bit more. Tell us what you guys want to see. All right, we're learning with you. That's why it's stupid useful, because we'll do stupid things as well as useful things. Come on, saute.
You can hear it. We're down to 2 minutes on the eggs. This is my measurement.
Definitely how I measure too.
Well, whatever. My people are like, Mom, that's a lot of seasoning.
Ground
turkey. Want to
turkey.
taste it or not?
Right, and ground turkey I feel like doesn't
really need seasoning.
It needs a lot more seasoning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to see what you put in yours.
I do what the recipe called for.
So one of my recipes does a chipotle chili powder.
Oh, I have that too.
So
that would be really
let me tell you, like that has replaced almost everything I use normal chili powder. I just can't buy it in like big Costco size container.
Right.
But I do love the chipotle chili powder.
I do too. I forget about it, but I love it.
There we go.
There. So, and that's really the thing. If you're using something super healthy like ground turkey, which has hardly any fat, you just really want to be sure you're taking your time to put those flavors back into it. Because otherwise, then your husband might complain that it tastes disgusting.
Right. And there's no flavor.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
All right, hear it.
Now it's going to start its countdown again. So we got to watch. Count up. Sorry, it's going to count up. So we got to watch for the 5 minutes on that.
Okay, so I have a question. You have this egg setting, and it automatically puts it to the 5 minutes, and then it counts back up after it's done, but it doesn't stop it at the. I guess because the machine can't automatically release it.
Correct.
And so it's like I feel like, oh, it should be all set because it's the egg setting, but it's not. Don't forget, you still have responsibility to watch that timer and release it at the right time.
Sea salt, cumin, paprika, chili powder, and then the chipotle chili powder. All right, and then we've got a whole onion and a bunch of green onions.
Yep.
That we're mixing in with this, and then we've got probably like one little thing of mushrooms. Sharla's over there dicing up nice and little. So I'm not a mushroom person, so I forego mushrooms in this, and I use poblano peppers. We really like poblano peppers in ours, and I like 4 or 5 of them easy, like 1 poblano pepper per person in my family, I think, because it just adds a lot to it without adding a lot of calories, and it has so much good flavor.
Yes.
So you're gonna add a can of diced chilies in yours, which is kind of the same thing.
It's really similar, and sometimes I just forget because I'm like, oh, I know that recipe, and so I'll forget to put on the poblano peppers or things like that where I would have put some in there. But
just substitute, make something up.
And it's okay to make the recipes unique too. I feel like when I was first learning the Instapot, I felt like I was stuck to every single Instapot recipe, and anything that I had made before would be ruined if I didn't follow these other recipes. I was so worried. And so the first time I tried to do my recipe in Instapot for my pork chops, I made so many pork chops that I just didn't adjust the time. Like I said, if you don't watch the time for those meats and adjust accordingly because you pack it a lot more full, then you adjust your time, and they weren't done and it made a mess, and I just felt like, well, that was a big fail. Right. So then it made me a lot less likely to try my own recipe. But the more I've used it, the more I've gotten comfortable and just realizing this is really what it's doing. I can put whatever I need to in that. That made me feel a lot more comfortable to move forward with, okay, making this adjustment. I could go back and do that same exact recipe for those pork chops that I grew up with that my family likes. But at the same time, it is fun to try new things, so I'm not really opposed to new recipes, but it helps me not feel stuck, because I don't like feeling stuck to a recipe either.
True story.
Because our families are different, and some people like one thing and some like another thing, and then all of a sudden, nobody likes anything, but that's...
But we just ate that, and everybody liked it.
Right, when you have so many children, nobody ever likes anything. There's always somebody that's not pleased.
Right.
And the hard part when I do adjust things is like, crap, how did I adjust that? So, that's a different conversation for later.
Right.
Okay, I think we're about done on sauteing. Everything's looking and smelling really great in there.
I know, I wish you guys could smell that.
Smell-o-vision, we're not there yet.
Nope.
Okay, so I'm just gonna add the last little bit of ingredients, which part of that is diced tomatoes, and that gives our liquid for this recipe. And
these are amazing.
These are amazing.
Fire roasted diced tomatoes make a huge difference.
So much flavor, but I'm like, I just have so many of this other.
I know. Well, and they're like twice as much as normal ones because they're amazingly yummy. So I always throw a couple of cans of these ones in this too. But like even in my spaghetti sauce, and like they're just to upgrade and trade it out.
Right. If you haven't tried the fire roasted, you're missing out.
Oh.
The 5 minutes is up on the eggs, and we need that ice bath ready, and it needs to start steaming. So Tiffany, show us how you're gonna steam it.
Done already. So that quick release faster than 5 minutes. So I'm like, do you take it out then?
Yep, take it
out.
out.
All right, here we go. So that's the difference. If I don't press my egg button, like I can't, it doesn't quick release that fast. So, all right, now I'm going to scoop my little eggies out. I'm gonna move my lid right there so you can see what I'm doing.
You didn't use your handle for your lid.
I'm not used to it yet. It's a new trick. Bam! Woohoo!
See how awesome it is?
It is. All right.
So here's our little ice bath. In they go.
All right. So do you have that? Do yours split?
Sometimes I'll get one that splits. I usually don't have a lot that happens to, but sometimes too when I like jam it full, sometimes I'm like maybe 6 minutes because there's so many eggs in there. So I think sometimes that's my concern. But I mean, if yours is doing it too, you could just, you never know. If your egg has a little like fault in it, that it's gonna pop just like when you boil them on the stove.
Yep. So I want to know if anybody's done a soft boiled egg. I've been interested in trying that. Like I've been looking at recipes with like eggs and avocados and sweet potato toast and all sorts of weird things. Dude, you guys like food things? Let me know. I try weird things. So I'm like, I want to do a soft boiled egg so when I cut into it that it's got a soft yolk inside. I made Scottish eggs and I thought that would be really good with a runny yolk in it. Anyways. I'm weird.
If you like runny yolks.
I do like runny yolks.
Not all of us like runny yolks.
I know. But only one person in my family doesn't like runny yolks. So, it's like hunting down the Easter eggs.
Yes.
Alright, then we need a 5-minute timer. Timer. That is smelling amazing. It looks amazing.
Like, let me stir it all in, and then we'll show you a nice close-up of what my chili looks like.
Right.
My yummy
fire roasted tomatoes.
Because they're so good.
Like ready for like Costco and Sam's Club to sell those like that.
Oh yes, because I'd love to buy these in bulk. If you need bulk ideas, compare Sam's Club, Costco.
Oh yeah, that was a fun video.
Yeah, there's some good stuff between the two, and maybe you have a preference, and maybe you just need to know where do you really need to shop, and we tried to answer those questions for you.
Right.
Ooh, this looks so exciting. Oh, it's so yummy smelling. I'm so excited for dinner. And really, like, this is a super healthy recipe. Like, if you want to just like watch your weight, you've got some New Year's resolutions you're working on. Sometimes having these really healthy recipes, doing a ground turkey, not putting in all the beans with the extra fats and things from that, which as I like go through, that is one of the adjustments I'll make is I'll add a couple cans of the beans so it feels more like chili for my kids. But for a really healthy chili, all the vegetables is a great choice. So I am going to pop my lid on here.
All right, so when you do this, do you use your chili bean button?
Okay, let's see what happens when I push that button. It says 20 minutes. And the recipe called for 15. Again, I've quintupled the recipe. So I wonder, yep, I can just go ahead and increase my time.
Now, and I think because I've used mine and I've increased my time, so the next time you press that, it'll remember it and it'll keep it there. So I think that's just kind of like your memory sets and things like that.
Okay, so now it's beeping saying it's accepted this setting, basically. My kids are like, but it said it's on. I'm like, just because it's on doesn't mean it's cooking it yet. So now it's gonna take the time for this to start being pressurized and then it'll finish cooking out for the day.
Right.
So again, a half an hour, probably like 45 minutes. It was nice and warm in there, so it shouldn't be too long to get our chili all done for today, but I'm really excited because then I can also just keep this warming. By the time we're ready to eat, It won't be like fire burning, killing our mouths either. We're almost there for these eggs.
Yep, so exciting.
There we go. Ah! By the way, I moved that. Oops. Nice.
There we go. All right. Can I just roll mine?
That's funny. I think that's funny. Like, how do you crack your eggs?
There's differences.
I'm like one little shell. The reason I wouldn't think to do it that way is I think it's annoying to take off the little pieces.
Oh, but I still got big chunks because it just breaks up all the stuff off of it. I don't know.
That's just so funny.
I do both. And like, yeah.
Okay, but seriously, have you ever seen an egg peel that fast?
I know, like super fast.
Literally, I just, I smash it once on the bottom and then like, boom, it all like gentle thumb.
Yep.
Off it is.
Right? I roll it to just separate it from the little membrane thingy that's around it. And
I have never before Instapot been able to peel eggs that quickly. That I purposely let my children do this and they come out good. because they love to do it. I was like, yay, you peel 30 eggs.
Right?
Please.
Man, because before, like, you cut the side of
Oh
your
my.
thumb and your hand hurts.
It was like torture.
Yeah. Ah!
Okay, I feel like now we have a few open. We should cut one in half.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'm gonna slice this thing. Okay, so here's what the inside of your egg looks like. It's the right creamy yellow, perfect. I love it. I think like I was so worried, like, right, is it gonna be overdone? Is it gonna be underdone? Like, what does that mean? Ooh, that was good. All right, so like we're serious. This is an awesome tool for your kitchen. And we have, again, plenty more to learn and show. So don't forget to click like and subscribe. And let us know if you've done eggs. Go ahead and try it out and show us your eggs because they're successful.
One more awesome thing about this, it doesn't smell like eggs in here. Like your whole house does not smell like an egg from it boiling or even like baking or whatever.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It does not smell. It's like the weirdest thing ever. And even like my Instapot, I feel like doesn't really smell like an egg. Like I've never had that cross-contamination from doing eggs in it. So, bonus! No rotten egg smell.